Good evening, splatters, and welcome back to Ludi Tonight Playoff Edition. My name is Sofa King, captain of the Whip Rays. Tonight, I am reunited with none other than Broken Pinky on the mic. How are you doing tonight, Pinky?
I'm doing great. It's been a while. I think it might have been since last Ludi season, but yeah. Always a pleasure to be on a mic with you. And we are going to have one heck of a set here, I would imagine. As you mentioned, Div 4 playoffs. We're in top 16. We have Secret Elixir. We have EHS, which I just found out stands for Enormous Ham Sandwich.
Enormous. Okay, we were talking about that beforehand as far as what that could stand for. But hey, you and I both know these players, these teams have been around for a little while. Obviously, Secret Elixir has been a staple in the scene, grinding up from low level. Was Div 3 last season. Div 4 this season, still a strong team. But EHS, I mean, if you remember the horse video team from last season, this got a couple of Night Sharks players on it. Pinky, I think we're in for a good match.
Oh, we're definitely in for a good match. I mean, as for how these teams have done so far in the season, both of these teams went 4-1 on the group stage, and the only set they lost went all the way down to a Game 9, with Secret Elixir losing Game 9 to Viscous, and I believe EHS lost Game 9 to Morning Glory. So these are two teams that, like, they have been down to the wire many times in other sets, and I mean, they've taken a lot of good victories in the group stage, and now they're just ready to battle it out in playoffs.
It's exciting, right? When these teams, I mean, they quote struggled because neither of them went 5-0, but like you said, they are not giving up these wins easily. They are not teams that are going to just get stomped by whatever that top seed is. And in Secret Elixir's case, they actually were the top seed. We were talking about this earlier too. In Group A of Division 4, there was a three-way tie that Secret Elixir ended up being number one at, with all three teams at 4-1. Man, just crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, Secret Elixir, Resonance, and Viscous all were 4-1. Heart goes out to Viscous, not making playoffs, but one heck of a season for them. But regardless, the season continues for these two teams here. Secret Elixir, Enormous Ham Sandwich. Game 1 is going to be on Tower Control Manta Maria, and this is an interesting tempo setter here for the set.
Yeah, it's kind of a very grindy sort of a beginning, right? You've got your areas that you want to take, like Plat, like Bunker, but as you're rolling through that street, it's really a fight to get past the checkpoint, and then it can kind of snowball a little bit. So what does, Pinky, tell me, what does these teams' mindset need to be, knowing, you know, your heart's pounding, this is Ludi playoffs, how do you calm yourself down and win this map mode?
I mean, it's all about the fundamentals. I think Tower Control is an interesting mode to be starting out on because it's, like you said, very snowball heavy. I think Manta's one of the less snowballing maps, but even still, like, they get in your street and it's kind of all over. So this is going to be a really good test to see, like, the mental states and the composure that these teams are going to be dealing with under pressure, because, I mean, pressure is going to be applied here on this map, and how you respond to it is going to speak volumes for not only just this game, but the other two tower maps we have later on in the set.
That's always a key, right? With these Ludi 9-game sets, and seeing as how these teams have a tendency to go all 9, which mode is going to be the one that will be played 3 times? And like you said, it's going to be Tower in our case. And that kind of lends itself to a set that's maybe more focused on these long, grindy pushes, which teams can hold control for the longest. And I'm thinking, I don't really know who has the edge. Looking at these comps, both teams have competent backline with Kurta, with Secret Elixir, with Blob for EHS. Both teams have these skirmishy weapons, people who can bring out dualies, wipers, stuff like that. I think it's really going to come down to individual positioning and gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, and I feel like as we're getting into this first game, there's a bit of a divide. Sometimes teams struggle on like 2 modes and are kind of weaker on the other 2, and generally Tower and Rainmaker are paired together. So if we're going to see any Tower Rainmaker specialists, they can be great here. But let's get into it. The beginning of the set here, Ludi playoffs, Secret Elixir, EHS, and these are some fun comps on both sides.
Yeah, this is interesting. The Carbon and Wellstring combo is really fascinating. I think they're going to have enough paint to operate. But Pinky, what do you think about CRB and Edit on the other side?
I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. Edit gets out a lot of paint in that sort of mid-range space where CRB is going to be wanting to fight in, especially augmented by the T-Tech. But already, I mean, Secret Elixir has a good amount of control in mid. Kurt is going to be on that heavy edit spot lane, which makes sense because it's quite strong in this map. But this is a utter scrap fest in mid right now. Team players on both sides are just going down left and right.
I love it. We see both anchors really holding down the fort here with Blob pressing forward. One goes down for EHS. Those Blob still has to hold neutral here. And you got to wonder, oh my goodness, as EHS goes 2 down, what's going to be the thing that kicks it off? And it could very well be that with the anchor jumping back to spawn and 2 back.
Yeah, having a lot of players jump back is pretty detrimental, but I mean, Secret Elixir has to, push through this first checkpoint. They're going to be doing so, but EHS has a good amount of time to regroup, but here, this is the big moment. There's a lot of good high ground around the second checkpoint, but if the team can get some good picks, like that trade on that Zuka there, Sofa, this could be a disastrous push already. Second checkpoint is almost going to be done, and they're fighting in street even still.
Oh boy, slight difficulties there, but hey, either way, that checkpoint was busted wide open by Secret Elixir in the first 90 seconds. That's really going to help them. They do go 2 down, 3 down, and now Brendan's going to have to scamper back, but Pinky, what a terrific first push for them.
Yeah, down to 39, and even then I feel like Secret Elixir could have gotten a little bit more with, what they had, but as you mentioned, they went 3 down. That generally spells the end of a push, and Brendan's still doing a great job of applying pressure in mid, making it so EHS can't push forward as much as they normally would at a 4v1 advantage. And I mean, already Secret Elixir is regrouped, is back on the tower. The CRB is going to be chilling here on this bunker, applying AoE, and really cutting off a lot of the defensive area that EHS wants to operate in.
Yeah, this is strong stuff from either side. Not much space being given up by EHS, but Terrence coming in for 2. It's going to stare down the barrel of the Zuka and get the pick there. The Carbon is going to be last, or I'm sorry, the CRB is going to be last up facing the Carbon here. They're able to get a few more points. EHS, a nice defensive stand again.
Yeah, I mean, EHS is a bit better regrouped now than they were just a moment ago, but halfway through this game, Secret Elixir has definitely been setting the tone. It's Secret Elixir's game, and EHS has been struggling to play it so far. Hibiki's going to be able to trade out with the Gal. Is going to find a second pick on the T-Tech, but Secret Elixir just keeps on getting these picks and forces, EHS to be kind of, like, disgruntled, I guess is the way to say it, because no matter where EHS is looking, Secret Elixir is going to be there and infiltrating them, and that makes it really hard for EHS to, get some specials going and get some, good defensive positions solidly held.
Yeah, they've got terrific map control, which is what we're seeing early on. But Brendan is going to get wallbanged, which is going to be 3 down for Secret Elixir. But again, it seems as though every time EHS can get an advantage, Secret Elixir is there to shut it down, whether it's the Blaster or the T-Tech or somebody else, as Soda is operating up front, those strikes at the ready. About a minute and a half left now. If you're EHS, what's your game plan for trying to just take mid?
I mean, you have to get specials at this point. Secret Elixir has just been throwing out so many more specials, and I mean, that's a large part because of the tower special advantage they're having, while continuously pushing this tower, which they've been doing for the past 3 minutes straight. But, I mean, if you're EHS, you have to find some sort of specials. 3 of them are holding on to them right now. EHS finally going to get that tower past mid in their own direction. 3 specials at the ready, trying to hold it to continue this push, because, I mean, for EHS, this is probably their last serious shot at getting the lead in their favor.
As we see all those specials coming out, one member of Secret Elixir is isolated on the side, will go down cleanly. That'll give EHS numbers as they cruise towards this crucial second checkpoint here. Nifty's going to be trying to find a happy space, a target selection there. Soda's going to get caught in the back lines. Kurta trying to trade that out, will be able to, but nobody is on that tower, Pinky, and they weren't able to dig into that checkpoint at all.
Yeah, this is really roughing up for EHS. I mean, it is do or die at this point. Strikes are being popped out, Wavebreaker's at the ready, but that's not really a high impact special, especially in this sort of spot, and the CRB is behind him contesting the tower. Hibik is just being forced to look in all different directions, and that's exactly what Secret Elixir is playing towards, and a wipeout with 30 seconds left in the game, so if it might just spell an end to game 1 here, depending on how Secret Elixir plays this hold.
Now, Soda has those GGs online and just needs to keep them, so that Secret Elixir can walk out of here with a Game 1 win. It's up to EHS to make something happen. Soda does pop those GGs. Probably going to try and get another one here pretty soon. But we've got the Kraken online as well. And I mean, we're still seeing picks on the side of EHS. Trades, they're down in numbers once again. And that is going to be it, folks. A dominant Game 1 to kick off Ludi Div 4 playoffs. Secret Elixir takes this one.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't until, a minute 30 left on the clock that EHS really started to formulate a push there. And, I mean, by that point, Secret Elixir just had so much of a leg up that they had, I don't know. I don't really know how to put it. I just feel like EHS struggled to have that sort of multi-layered and omnidirectional push that Secret Elixir did. Because when Secret Elixir was pushing, they would do a great job of sending someone into cut and keeping someone in control of the bunker. And in EHS's final push, I feel like they didn't do that quite as effectively as they needed to.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I think that maybe it's okay to start to lose numbers on a push like that, but it's not okay to then swing away from tower and to lose points. I think there's something to be said, like even if you start to go down, if you had kind of stayed on that tower and grinded it out, forced them to come into you to stop that push, then maybe we would have seen some closer scores. But either way, what we always say during these broadcasts is that Ludi sets are long. That was only one game out of a 9-game set. Both of these teams have only given up set losses on a game 9. So I still think we're in for a good long set here, Pinky.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's not about who gets that first game. It's about who is going to be there when the chips are down, when you're down, or when it's 4-4, and you're playing on that Game 9 tower control map that is eluding me right now. But even still, like, it's going to be a grinder, but Secret Elixir already showing that, they have that potion brewing of how to get this victory in their hands, and they are ready to keep on adding more ingredients to it. I think some clams are going to be next in store as we head on to Game 2. Clamless Museum is a very interesting change of pace from that last one.
It really is, and I think that it's a map mode that's going to lend itself more to who's able to puncture that plat a little bit easier. Edit in CRB on the side of Secret Elixir might be it, but then there's some worlds in which that's maybe not a fast enough comp to do that. So I could see EHS kind of with what they're rolling out with the Wellstring and the Carbon, getting some nice numbers advantages and trying to find that plat control there.
Yeah, I don't know if the Wellstring's going to come back. If they do, I feel like it'd be a great idea, though, because having that, location on a mode like Clamless is very nice to have. We're going to be going back, as you predicted, we're going to be seeing a Zap instead of that heavy edit. And Blob's going to be on the Pencil. Pencil makes a lot of sense on this map because of how important range is, but on Clamblitz, this could get kind of scrappy if Secret Elixir makes it onto EHS's plats.
I think so too. I think it could be scrappy either way, right? Like it could also be tough for Secret Elixir to face down a Pencil with a virtually backless comp. So I think that it's going to be interesting to see how these teams react. An early advantage state for Secret Elixir, though, is they're already making a play for the opposing plat. Hibiki is going to get tapped by the Zuka and picked by it. And Secret Elixir has a power, and it looks like they're about to score it. They do. They've got some clams. Let's see how many they can pour in before this push will be over.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even get a chance to mention, the big special thing about this map, and it's how defender favored it is, because Secret Elixir already kind of ripped the door off its hinges, getting an early push going, only down to 74. Never mind, they're still scoring more points, down to 68, just a little bit more extra credit, but I think Secret Elixir, more than scoring points, is just trying to rattle EHS just a little bit and make it feel like, whatever direction they try to look for, look towards, is just not safe.
Momentum is a big thing, and momentum is especially huge when the sets get so long as they are here. EHS, though, kind of trying to normalize here. Blob using their range to try and find a target as we see the specials coming out from either side, a trade happening nice as things are still mostly in neutral. But if you're this Pencil, what do you have to do to counter a backless comp like Secret Elixir's bringing here?
I mean, you really have to use your, the pressure and the threat of the laser to make Secret Elixir scared to run forward, and that really has to come, with the collaboration of the teammates there. And I feel like that's something that EHS has kind of been struggling with right now. But the Bucket doing a great job positioning on the spinner there to find a great pick, always being a 2-shot, such a nice buff here. And 4v2 right now, this is a golden opportunity for EHS, one of few that Secret Elixir has given up. Let's see what they make of it.
Yeah, this looks like this will be a flip of plat as the picks just keep on rolling in for EHS. Oh my gosh, it seems like they've been long wiped twice now. As Blob, I don't quite know what Blob was doing there. Could have just scored the ball. They did eventually get it in, and a lot of clams coming in for EHS. That'll be the lead and more. 2v1 still in favor of EHS as Namika is going to try and get a couple more. Won't be able to. I think that's probably going to be the push. Blob will be able to points max there a little bit to get it down to 44.
Yeah, so much extra credit, and such a perfectly calculated amount of extra credit, whether intentionally or not, because I believe that's exactly enough to where 2 power claims from Secret Elixir is not enough for the lead switch here. So
wow.
that was a bit of accidental genius, I'm sure, but Secret Elixir does not really care. They're already back in the enemy plat, have a ton of clam economy in their favor, and they have Kraken, and they have Zuka, which is really going to be great for corralling EHS away from where Secret Elixir wants them to be. But right now, EHS still fighting for their plat, but here comes that Kraken. Winston is going to be swimming through the fire and the flames to get the power claim in, but they still have to get another 21 points to get the lead back.
Yeah, that was crazy. And like you said, it seemed as though they didn't have enough juice to make this push go. Soda's going to barely miss the power clam that would have flipped the lead over here. And Brendan is going to be forced to kind of scamper away, knowing that the push is done. Oh my goodness, how did Brendan not get picked there? That was pretty wild. But now the score has changed. One power clam will put Secret Elixir at 51, at which point they will only need, another like 3 clams to take the lead. So the gap has narrowed considerably.
Yeah, but like even still, that power clam miss is you can't help but wince at that one, I'm sure. But Nifty right there can't help but wince at them. The team going 3 down is going to be forced to leave that power clam probably to die. And Sota trying to get some redemption here. Want to get that power clam in, and that's going to be a lead at 31 points to go with a minute 12 remaining on the clock. More points are coming in right now. Right now down to 22. Oh, that's 3 great Zuka picks from the V-Trot. That's insane. And the Range Blaster is there for the wipeout to keep the basket open for just long enough for even more clams to be scored. And this might just be enough for a knockout right here. Oh my god, 1 point to go. It's just going to be Brendan. Can he make it to the basket? He can. Wow.
We saw EHS come out strong to start that game, but Secret Elixir, once that motor was going, it did not stop. And we saw at some point the basket timer had like a sliver left, and they would still find a way to get a clam to keep that push alive. Just outstanding work. And like we said about Ludi sets being long, about momentum, all this kind of stuff, even in as early as game 2, that kind of a win can be deflating for the other team.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, 3 beautiful Zuka picks. Like that was a work of art, honestly. And the rest of the team's collapsing on the last person. And as you said, just a sliver left as Brendan gets those final few clams in and was somehow able, I think was on the grate of the spinner, to get that final point in for that knockout for Secret Elixir. And I mean, that, like you said, Zoe, that is a demoralizing game to lose.
It's interesting because it seems as I love Kurta on that edit, but now what I'm wondering, especially with kind of an unorthodox map coming up, such as Rainmaker, Hagglefish, Pinky, do you keep this backless comp with Winston in on the Zap, or do you go back to the edit for some more stability?
I will say unorthodox is right to describe this one here. I don't know. That's a really hard call. I think it just depends on how you want to play this map. I think Rainmaker is naturally going to be a faster mode, so having a Zap that moves a bit more freely could be nice for that. But on the contrary, Edit's a great weapon at sort of opposing blind-faced aggression. So I think either route that Secret Elixir goes with for their cooler support is a viable one. I think for EHS, though, I don't think Pencil's going to be the play on this map.
Yeah, and ultimately that's who the burden is on to change. With Secret Elixir up 2-0, you got to try and take a game at some point with one of these 4 modes to start our Ludi set. And you got to think that Rainmaker's one of these ones that can be super swingy. Either way, it's kind of different from these modes that we've seen so far. So EHS, I mean, this could be their chance. And like you said, Pencil may not be the play on such a fast map as this one.
Yeah, and when Ludi, as far as Ludi sets go, the question I always ask is which team got to 3 games first and how'd they get there? And right now, Secret Elixir's on the verge of being up 3-0, and that is not a barrel you want to be staring down as EHS. Just being down 0-3, 2 games to fight for your life. You want to at least get it 3-1, 3-2, 3-4 ideally, but at this point, EHS just need to get some kind of, positive going in their favor. And it seems like Jarens is taking a page out of Blob's book with this Wellstring here, and Blob is going to be going for the Vac Charger.
Wow, Jarens, you do not have this on your Sendo page, as we're seeing a backline from Secret Elixir that we're not used to seeing, at least I'm not, in some crazy comp changes here. The Vac on the other side, do you think that's enough of a change to flip victory to EHS here?
This is certainly an interesting change. EHS's plan, is written out for them. Okay, it's not going to be enough if they go down 3 down that early into the game. And Sofa, do you want to see a magic trick? Do you want to watch 30 points disappear from the top of the screen? Because Secret Elixir is looking like a magician right about now, and these tri-strikes might not be enough to stop it here. We might be seeing the gamer jump that this map is oh so infamous for. Never mind, Jarens is going to go around, but still down to 30 points, and Jarens is booking the barrier. And that, wow.
They're just talking about magic. They're just trying to pull a 3-0 victory rabbit out of their hat within the first minute. And Winston, will be stopped just short of it. But, I mean, we've been talking about momentum, about mindset. Talk about this mental mountain to climb, knowing that you need to knock out to gain a victory. You have 4 minutes to do it. But, Pinky, this must be stressful.
It's got to be stressful, but I mean, EHS has the... Oh my god. Blob is making some magical snipes happen for sure on the members of Secret Elixir, but even still, EHS definitely has the component. I mean, Inkvac is such a nice, push guarantor in Rainmaker. Another nice pick. Another nice pick from Blob. My goodness. I need to give this man them flowers, but still, this Vac is... It's crucial for getting a checkpoint, but it's not all you need. You need more than just a Vac to win this game.
Oh, of course. I mean, first you need checkpoint. You need to win a fight in mid, which despite Blob's powerful snipes there seems to be a struggle, but one will go down instantly, traded back out, and looking for a crucial fight with Brendan, which Brendan will win cleanly, and now it's just the Charger again, and Secret Elixir can hold this Rainmaker and can stall until the 2-minute mark.
And Brendan's use of wall is phenomenal for stalling out EHS. I mean, 52 Gal, infamous for how much it relies on that sub, and it uses it pretty darn well, and Brendan is using it pretty darn well. Has Whale at the ready. He's not going to pop it without any, reason to. He's not going to pop it, but Secret Elixir, again, like, they go 3 down somewhat often as Brendan as their last, but Brendan is so good at stalling for time for Secret Elixir to get back that it feels like EHS just never really has that window to get a push started here. So, now halfway through the game, Nifty's holding on to the Rainmaker. No specials are up right now, but EHS just has to find something to get a push started at some point.
It was a nice snuffing out of the flank there as Hibiki's going to be trying to clear out the tent. And now they're no longer backless as Secret Elixir. As Hibiki's trying to pick off the Zuka. Oh, it looks like they're going to get pinched, and numbers will go back to Secret Elixir in a big, big way as Winston's going to be rolling up and out. And now it's Blob who has to lock things down. Try and flip it back with a couple more crazy snipes. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Blob has just been on point with this splatter scope, as we mentioned time and again in this game, but again, you need that team of 4. The team of 4 players that's stronger is the one that is going to win. And right now, Secret Elixir just looks like they're just on top of the world right now, but not if they're going to get wiped out. Beautiful aggression from EHS to try and flip the script a little bit. A minute 30 left. That's not a lot of time, but you don't need that much time to get a Rainmaker knockout here on this map. It's just about putting the right pieces together and getting some crucial wipeouts.
Oh my goodness, Soda is picked, but I believe the Zuka was able to get the Rainmaker. Still a wipeout on Secret Elixirs. EHS looks to almost certainly get the checkpoint here, and Namika's going to try and keep that disadvantage alive with the Zuka. The Zuka crucially not able to find anything, though, as EHS is going to be rolling up onto Plat here. They've got to try and find some ink to put underneath their feet. Secret Elixir has a hammer at the ready, though, so you can't go too quickly with this Rainmaker. They've gotten the jump to 33, and now they're going to look for this far left route, as they've got a nice stabilizing force set up here. They need to try and find some picks, though. Brandon's going to dive and be picked. The Zuka, you got to survive one more shot. You can. Oh my gosh, Pinky, this could be a crazy, crazy lead flip, but I don't think it's going to happen as 2 go down for EHS.
Yeah, 2v4 is a rough spot. It's just Blob left alone. It's going to find a pick, but that Rainmaker is now stuck in no man's land. And at this point for Secret Elixir, you just have to hold on to this left side. You don't even need to pop it. I think they did just now, but you just have to keep it like in your own ink color and make it so EHS can never, make an attempt at even pushing towards the Rainmaker, let alone grabbing it. I do like what they were going for there on the left side. I wish they'd done it sooner, but regardless, Rainmaker's going to reset, and with 15 seconds to go, one final team fight has to be won for Secret Elixir to be up 3-0 in this best of 9 set. 10 seconds to go. Picks are going to be huge here, but 2 go down immediately on the side of Secret Elixir, and EHS starting to get that ball rolling, but even still, they have to grab the Maker, and Nifty is having trouble grabbing it in the face of Brandon, and that is not going to be enough. You have to win that fight there, and Secret Elixir is going to take yet another game.
Powerful, powerful stuff we're seeing from Secret Elixir. And hey, maybe they're telling everybody, remember when you guys had us in Div 3 last season, then you bumped us down to Div 4? We don't like that too much, so we're just gonna soar through our group, go to playoffs, and they are putting on a show here in round 1 of Div 4 playoffs, led by Brendan, led by Winston. I mean, they're up 3-0. We've got Splat Zones next, and this set could get dangerous for EHS in a hurry.
I mean, it's hard to say who's even leading the charge because, I feel like Brendan is pretty obviously getting the most screen time. just because of how good they are at surviving in these crucial moments. But all the members of Secret Elixir are doing such a great job of just diving in and out, staying alive, and keeping up that cycle of pressure going for as long as possible. And I mean, that's what let them get to 1 point there in about 45 seconds and just get so close. I mean, shoutouts to Nifty for saving the game there, but even still, just that one effort is not going to be enough to get that game one in your favor. And I mean, as you said, we are, at the 3-game mark. Secret Elixir has 3 games. EHS has not yet levied a response, and they're running out of time to do so.
They are, and the other notable thing too is that each game is kind of becoming more and more in Secret Elixir's favor as far as how these final points are shaking out. So there could be some semblance of mental fatigue going on here. Who's to say what's going on? But you need a mental reset, and these teams are both strong mid-level teams. They know how to do this. You have to know how to do this and able to be at this level. So Pinky, for Splat Zones on Umami, what do you do to calm yourself down? How do you just kind of reset and say, all right, this set's back to 0-0. What do I need to do to succeed?
I mean, I don't know if there's a set in stone way to do that. You just have to reset your mental. You have to say, 3 games behind us, they were rough, but it is what it is. We're here now. All we can do at this point is just try our best and try to get a win under our belt, because these teams know how to play the game, definitively. There's no doubt about that. But it's just about going back to your basics, putting your principles in practice, and just never wavering, and just trying your best to hit your shots, paint the objective, and push up.
Hey, you said it best, and I mean, Zones on Umami, we're going to the fundamentals of the game, right? This might be a 2-zone map, but zones, most people would say, is I don't know, the main mode of Splatoon competitive. So if there's ever a mode in which you can kind of put your foot down and say, this is our style of game, we're going to take a game here, this would be the one. And obviously, if VHS goes down here, it's match point for Secret Elixir. So these two teams are going to be facing off here. I'm trying to think of comp changes for Secret Elixir. Do you keep that Wellstring from Jarence? Is this the point where you bring Kurta back in with the edit for the stability on zones? What are your thoughts?
I think bringing Kurta back in is a smart play. I feel like on a map like Umami, where lockouts are, can be pretty devastating, having that sort of longer range option, maybe the edit, maybe even a pencil, is incredibly helpful here, just because you want to have that long range pressure, especially, in combination with potentially Jarence on a CRB and maybe Sota, using the Zuka on the splatter shot. I think you want, that sort of ensemble of players there, because just this map can be very lockout heavy, and here comes Kurta back on the edit. We're also seeing a junior here in a 3-shooter come from Secret Elixir, and the bow is being pulled out.
Yeah, this is interesting. We see the return of the carbon as well for EHS. I kind of like that mixture with the stringer. This should be a lot of ink output for EHS, which is what you're going to need on zones. But this is the first time this set where we've seen Kurta and Winston playing together. And do you think Junior can thrive here?
Junior's interesting. I do feel like it's a very inopportune time for the bow to come out, because bow kind of does well at shredding the bubble that Secret Elixir is just pulled out for the first time all set. But, I mean, Junior can definitely work. I'm a little bit suspicious about it, though, and right now it's not been working out for Secret Elixir yet, as the EHS kind of has an uncontested hold of mid, and right now 4v2 is the player advantage. EHS is just continuing to score, and Winston's the only player on top mid, forced to back up and retreat. Secret Elixir is kind of on the ropes right now, Sofa.
Yeah, this is interesting as we see the Chumps providing a lot of ink pressure here, as the Carbon's going to be looking to get in. I don't know that they know where the Carbon is. Another one will go down for Secret Elixir, and Kurta's in a tough spot here. Soda's going to be taken down. Kurta is almost certainly going to have to be forced to jump out, unless Namika is going to be able to get a little Carbon snipe there. Yeah, that's the jump out. And my goodness, Pinky, this could be a knockout.
Yeah, I mean, something happened between these two games. It's some kind of mental reset, but 20 points to go. And we might just see a knockout here, leggedy split in favor of EHS. This has just been, I mean, it's Umami lockout. There's nothing more to say about it. And with just 5 seconds to go, 2 players up on Secret Elixir. That is going to be a very important 100-0 push from EHS.
That is the kind of even gameplay that we've been wanting to see this whole set. That was a terrific win by EHS to go, like you said, 100-0, never relenting control the whole time. And my goodness, Secret Elixir may need to rethink. Do you panic? Do you rethink the edit junior combo? Do you bring Jarence back in? What's your goal to kind of like we've been talking about momentum? You got to stop the bleeding here at some point.
you do have to stem the bleeding. You do not want EHS to continue to build this, because suddenly EHS wins one more game, and then it's two more games, and then it's three more games, and then you're staring down the barrel of getting reverse swept when you really had it all together. So I think Secret Elixir tried some stuff out that game that, didn't quite work out. I'm not much of a Junior believer, to be honest. I don't think Bubble is the best special here, and I feel like that lack of offense on defense was really what did Secret Elixir in, because it kind of kept them in just perpetual disadvantage, because it felt like they were always fighting a 3v4, because Junior's just not a weapon that can really fight, especially, on Umami lockout territory.
Yeah, and I mean, on the side of VHS, these guys have been here before, so I think that there is some element, like we were saying, of they weren't kind of deterred by the 0-3. They were still able to come out and put together a really solid performance. These guys are kind of like a conglomeration of like Night Sharks players. For those familiar with the CCA of last season, they had the horse video for every win. We post that horse video, and that team went to round 2 of Div 4 playoffs. So I mean, these guys have been here before. They know the stakes, and I think they're going to come out strong again for game number 5.
Yeah, I mean, you would talk momentum a lot in this set. This is one heck of a way for EHS to get momentum, in their favor, because undoubtedly they're strong players, but they just hadn't been able to put it together yet for the first 3 games. But now they have a solid notch in their belt. They have a game 1. So this could be a real turning point for the set, and the onus is on Secret Elixir to shut that down as fast as possible. As we go back to a bit of a mode repeat here, game 5 is going to be on tower control here for Undertow.
Yeah, this was a nice one when we saw earlier in Tower Control Manta, both teams having a nice push. But we've seen Secret Elixir make strong pushes in the openings of mostly every game. So I'm kind of looking for them to do the same here. I do think they're going to need to switch it up from the Edit Junior combo. I'm not sure if they go backless, though, on a map like Undertow. What do you think about that?
I don't know. Undertow is a weird map mode at times, because backlines, they can apply a lot of pressure, but they aren't inherently strong. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to describe it, because like it can feel like just completely dominant in some spots, but on Undertow Tower especially, if you're standing in the wrong position, like if you're standing on a snipe as the tower starts moving out of mid, that's a lot of time your team loses the push. So let's go. We're in game number 5 here. We're going to see Jarens back on the CRB. Kurt is going to be back on the edits. Back to the game 1 comp here for Secret Elixir, I think, for both teams. So let's just see what happens.
Yeah, it seems like they're sticking with what they like on tower controls. An early trade will keep things in neutral. EHS will grab the tower immediately, getting a 3-1 numbers advantage as Hibiki's going to be pressing forward, and they're going to clear that first checkpoint really quickly and be rolling into this left-hand side.
Yeah, I mean, 30 seconds down, EHS already has a solid amount of control around the tower. Blob is going to be the designated tower rider, which certainly makes sense. Second checkpoint and no contestant from Secret Elixir, not using that high ground that's kind of telegraphed, and Nifty finding a Zuka pick on Akurta as well, being the main supportive piece, and Secret Elixir is kind of crumbling right now. 37 points to go for this knockout, and Soda's going to get sharked by the Carbon Roller as well, and EHS is starting to put the pieces together right now.
Yeah, that was a nice opening push we saw from EHS as we see momentum so clearly. I mean, can we say it anymore? But it's so crucial, obviously, to how Splatoon is played. And this is kind of, we're seeing an inverse of how the first game went, where Secret Elixir on Manta pushed it to the 30s really quickly, and then EHS in the reverse couldn't really do too much the rest of the game. We could see the mirror image of that here.
Yeah, but crucially, we're already seeing a response here from Secret Elixir. They know that they can certainly do this. Kurt is going to be the tower rider, which again makes sense. Already through that first checkpoint, but the second checkpoint is such a significant bottleneck because there's a lot of defensive high ground right in your face that EHS can make great use of here when the tower is very exposed on all sides. So Kurta cannot push safely right now, but Jaren's going to help find another pick. 2 or 3 down on the side of EHS. This is kind of a golden opportunity for Secret Elixir. You cannot waste it at this point. You have to, keep this advantage going for as long as possible and try to get the lead back.
Yeah, nice trade as Hibiki goes for the flank, but is stifled there as Soda's able to get one. And now there's a fight going on for Spine with Brendan and Soda here trying to pinch Nifty. They're going to chase after Nifty here into the court. Oh my gosh, Nifty is going to be traded back out. Soda, my gosh, that's still going to be numbers advantage for EHS, though, as they stifle another push, but Secret Elixir was able to get it to 40.
Yeah, and Secret Elixir got both checkpoints out of the way too. So even though they didn't get the lead, I still feel pretty optimistic about their chances to get it back because all the barriers are out of the way. They just have to get back there. And I mean, that second checkpoint not being there is just a huge wave off the mental. But you have to get the tower back there for it to even matter. And I'm sure that is certainly on Secret Elixir's mind. So they're trying to win these fights. They still have the numbers advantage in their favor. 3 down on the side of EHS, and Secret Elixir trying to push up right now. It's really crucial they take control of this left side here, and forcing one to jump out's nice. They get the pick on the Carbon as well. Raul's trying to shark him with 2 minutes to go. Secret Elixir certainly has the time to get a good push going.
Yeah, they're playing this really smartly, right? They're not going too fast. They're making sure that they're rebuilding their ink. But the strikes and the Zuka coming out are going to put a stop to that, as EHS is able to, with another defensive stand, get a wipeout, and with 2 minutes to go, I mean, this game is still virtually even with that checkpoint broken, but EHS looking strong defensively.
That was a crazy reversal from EHS. I was not expecting that, to be honest, especially at that point of the game. But regardless, EHS is now holding on to a pretty significant amount of mid advantage, and having the lead in their favor just puts that much more pressure on Secret Elixir. They can't afford to, just sit by idly. They have to get back into mid and fast. Only a minute 30 left, and they're, in disadvantage right now. This is a rough spot for them to be in, but right now, Namika's just sharking right here on the Carbon, just waiting for Secret Elixir to try and move up carelessly toward that tower. Trades are happening right now. 2 go down on both sides. 3 down on the side of EHS, though. It's just going to be that Wellstring that's pretty far back. So Kurta riding the tower into the sunset. About a minute left to go on the match timer here. This might be Secret Elixir's last chance to get the lead in their favor.
Yeah, Jarence will go down up front as the strikes will come out from Secret Elixir, but Curtis forced to step off the tower. Juiced up, Namika's going to be contesting this tower and will go down, and Secret Elixir's only a few points away from the lead. They are able to take it. Huge numbers versus EHS as Brendan's going to be rolling in onto the plat here, is trying to contest these strikes. Secret Elixir looking to break this final checkpoint. They've got it down to 15, but my goodness, Pinky, I don't know that this is a surmountable lead at this point.
It's certainly doable for EHS, but that is a rough spot. Going 3 down and your last member jumping to spawn, it was open season for Secret Elixir to get points, and they capitalized greatly, almost getting through that 3rd checkpoint. And that just means for EHS to win this, they have to clear that 3rd checkpoint, and they have 20 seconds to organize a beginning of a push right now, and Secret Elixir trying to do everything in their power to stop that from happening. The backline is already down. Carbon is just trying to find a good place to be. This shot is trying to crash in, but Secret Elixir not quite aware of it. It's going to find 2 great picks. That's exactly what EHS needs right now. 3 down. It's just going to be Brendan. Secret Elixir is forced to play a defensive game here if they want to keep this game.
Oh my gosh, Nifty is carrying, but you have to find the pick on Soda, because Soda's putting out those GG strikes as one will go down. Hibiki's trying to keep folks off tower, but Kurta will sweep in and take the tower, and a statement win from Secret Elixir. They were down early in a big momentum game, but they stifled it. They take the 4-1 lead, and they are 1 game away from advancing to the next round.
1 more game from being in top 8 of Ludi Season 15 here in Div 4. That was a wild last minute and a half of that game. It was just so incredibly back and forth. But this moment here, Nifty goes down and Hibiki jumps out in the corner. That was just all the free real estate that Secret Elixir needed, and Brendan capitalized on that greatly. Setting up and just not even going for picks, just trying to stall time and make it so EHS couldn't really look at the tower. And even though Secret Elixir couldn't score any more points from this point, it was just kind of under wraps at this point.
Yeah, it was just a strong push with their backs against the wall. And we talk about momentum so much. If EHS had gone on to win that game, who knows how this set would progress. But with that, Secret Elixir has made it very, very difficult for them to lose this set here as we progress into Game 6. Clam Blitz on Barnacle and Dime. Pinky, do you think this is it? Are we going to see a 5-1 victory here?
I think that game might be the most demoralizing for EHS, because you're riding high, you finally get a win under your belt, and you're looking so strong for 4 minutes straight. And, right when you're riding the highest, it just kind of gets pulled out from under you. So this is, it's do or die for EHS. You either win and try and keep winning for the rest of the 4 games that are potentially left in the set, or you're bowing out of the Ludi season. So this is a rough spot for them to be in. Game 6 on Clambless, Barnacle, and Dime is, I don't know, this is such an awkward spot for EHS to be in, but Secret Elixir, I'm sure, very content with themselves right now and just is fighting for 1 more game.
I'm interested to see how these comps will change. Now, when we saw game 2, that was one of the closest games to set, the Clam Blitz on Museum game. The Secret Elixir went backless, and it actually was going very, very, very well for EHS for the opening of that game until Secret Elixir got that huge push with the power clam jump in, with the crazy 52 in the greats, the final clams, all that stuff. So I think we are going to see a really tight game regardless. I don't think EHS is in a mindset where they're just going to give up. They're going to continue to fight, obviously. But I think with Secret Elixir, we could very well see, you know, some powerful backless. We're going to maybe see Winston back on that zap. I think we're going to see some fast gameplay from both sides.
Yeah, I think on clams you have to play, maybe not have to play backless, but it's strongly advised to play backless. Barnacle might be an exception because it's honestly a map so good for Pencil that I could very well see Pencil be coming out from either side here. And speaking of, the intricacies of Barnacle clams, that basket is very far back, so you have to push quite a ways, and if you're, too willy-nilly and too excited to get a power clam in, you can get punished incredibly hard. So, when right now your anxiety is the highest right now, you have to stop yourself from making a rash decision, because one wrong thing happening can be the domino that starts to cascade the game completely out of control.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and we could see that happen from either team, right? We've seen some great performances from both teams. Folks who are joining us, you may see 4-1 on the scoreboard. It has not been that lopsided. All these games have been super, super close, but we're heading into game number 6, match point. We are seeing backless from Secret Elixir with Winston on the zap. And in our last Clam Blitz game, EHS pulled Pencil, but this time they've got Nifty on 52. They've got a V Tri-Stringer out as well.
I think Blob has played a different weapon for every single game except for custom Wellstring on the tower control exclusively. So Blob, showing their variants as a backline, very strong bow and charger player, but bow on this map mode is, I don't know about that one, to be honest. And Secret Elixir is trying to punish EHS, playing at a bit of a slower pace, and they're already just pushing incredibly far up. They don't have a lot of clams, but right now they know that if you have the map control now, clams will come very shortly.
Yeah, it's been like we were thinking, a fast start from Secret Elixir with that backless comp like we saw in Museum. But for now, the gas from the Tri-Stringer and the Tri-Stringer itself from EHS seem to have stopped their forward momentum. The Kraken, though, coming in, finds Namika, forces a jump out from the Tri-Stringer, and oh my gosh, finds another one, and now Hibiki is going to get one pick, but almost certainly will be traded out here as Secret Elixir is going to look to score.
Yeah, that Kraken essentially got 3 picks there and put Hibiki in a very, very compromised position to get picked off as well. And Secret Elixir capitalizing on it greatly, all the way down to 56 points. And Jarens finds yet another pick. And Jarens just playing to stall for time right now and, keep EHS looking away from the basket so Secret Elixir can score more and more and more points right now. Down to 50, it seems like that's where the basket is going to be closing. But a minute and a half, Secret Elixir already halfway to knockout. And this is just a very strong game being played by them so far.
Yeah, terrific opening push, right? We talk about a benchmark for an opening push being below 60. They check that mark, and they're still looking to control mid here, although one does go down, traded back out, and Blob trying to find a place where they can set up and be in a happy position here. As we see the Whale come out, Blob has been so good as backline for EHS throughout this whole game. We're seeing the picks start to go more towards EHS's favor. Clams, though, they've still got to get those together.
Yeah, right now, EHS just trying to find some sort of control, because clam economy on this map is kind of hard to come by at times, but you have to get that control first, and EHS not going to be doing so right now, being 3 down. Brendan already swimming fourth with the power clam, going to be another basket breaker, another power clam getting in there. 26 points remain, 20 now at this point, and Secret Elixir just trying to cycle in and out with more clams as much as possible. Winston's going to go back and grab 3, and just 2 more after that is going to be enough, but that's going to be contingent on Winston making it to the basket. He's going to be able to do so, 5 points to go, but with Soda being the last one, that's going to be a wipeout. Right as EHS is just barely able to stop that knockout, but with 5 points to go, the margin of error is just getting tighter and tighter.
Some of these games are close. Some of these games, Secret Elixir just pops off and gets within a hair's width of a knockout. And man, the other team is just have to be forced to reckon with it. But Hibiki getting a nice trade out there for their teammate is trying to fight Jarens, who has been so strong in this game and is able to use their range nicely to get another clean pick. And with only 2 minutes left, Secret Elixir just has to stall, and you can't be doing things like that if you're EHS dropping around the back there, as Jarens kind of floating here. Man, Pinky, it seems like they've got it in the bag.
It really does. I mean, I wouldn't say that stalling is the best plan of action here because you don't want to be giving EHS the time to get those resources together, but if Secret Elixir just keeps on threatening the space that EHS wants to move towards, I think that'll be enough to keep the game under wraps here. But Namaka finding a crucial pick on Jarens, but ooh, another nice pick with the Zuka. Gets 3. Beautiful triple there from Namaka to try and blow this game open for EHS, but I mean, they have 2 Mount Everest to climb, it feels like. They have to get to 4 points, and at that point, it's just like, it's just so hard for them at this point. They have 2 power claims, though, at the ready, trying to get some sort of push started. Let's see how that goes.
Oh my goodness, as Namaka has to try and find a place where they will get something better than a trade, as Soda and Secret Elixir is rolling through here. They've got some more power claims on their side as well coming online, and it just seems like EHS cannot get their feet under them when Secret Elixir has this backless comp. The strike's coming out to try and give them something, but look at all these clams that Secret Elixir has. You don't need all that. You need significantly less than that to win the game, but they do go 2 down, 2v2. Jarens, ooh, a terrific Zoot from Namaka, who's trying to keep this thing alive. But Pinky, man, 30 seconds left. What do you have to do if you're EHS?
You just have to get picks. I mean, at this point, there's not enough time to build the claims you need to get a push done. You know, you can't evaporate the points. It has to be, you know, a long battle by the basket. And to start that battle, you have to get there in the first place. And you only have about 35 seconds left to do so. So here we go. The final chance for EHS to stay alive in the set, to stay alive in Ludi playoffs. Specials are being paused right now, no specials left, and the players of Secret Elixir are just running in the face of it. Hibiki's going to find a pick onto Winston, though. Brendan rallying around that wall. Jared's going to be poking with the range blaster right now, and Secret Elixir just has to stall for 15 more seconds. Zuka's going to get picked, though, and 3 go down on the enemy plat right now. Brendan is going to be picking off, trying to find someone, but Nipsey's going to find it, but Blob gets taken down just short of the basket, and that wipeout is going to be all that Secret Elixir needs to get the set 5-1.
Outstanding work by Secret Elixir. Hey, I mean, we talked about momentum, right? And they did a terrific job, Secret Elixir did, at ignoring enemy momentum in every case. They were able to shut it down on tower control, undertow. They were able to make this an extremely one-sided Game 6 to take the set. And Secret Elixir is going to be moving on to top 8 in Division 4 to face, I believe, Golden Lemonberry. Yes, that's correct.
Man, I mean, what a set from Secret Elixir. I mean, they have been rock solid in the group stage, as has EHS to their credit, but it just felt like this set they had a much more clear game plan. They had a better sense of how they wanted to play this set than I feel like EHS did in response.
Yeah, it felt as though, despite how close a lot of these games were, the win that EHS got was dominant, yes, but was arguably due to Secret Elixir's comp more so than anything else, pulling out the Junior Edit combo, which I think can work in many scenarios, but not against what EHS was coming out with the Sharking Carbon, with the Well String, and all the pressure that was. So truly, bravo to Secret Elixir for an outstanding set. They left no doubts about it, and they're going to be moving on.
Yeah, I mean, a well-earned set victory here for Secret Elixir. Again, I mean, EHS, enormous hand sandwich is what I believe that stands for. I just wanted to put that one more at the end. But, I mean, they played well. They had a phenomenal season, 4-1 in groups, only losing a Game 9 set to Morning Glory, and now a Game 6 set to Secret Elixir. It's rough to see the Ludi season end at this point, but if I'm EHS, I'd still be pretty proud. Making it to playoffs in Div 4, I feel like the sky's the limit for them at this point, if they can just, you know, focus a little bit more about what went wrong in the set and how to fix it in the future.
Agreed completely. And that's the tough part about these Ludi Tonight sets, right? Is you could come in here and watch a team that you love kind of take a sock to the mouth and go down 1-5. But what you're not seeing is all the teams scattered behind them in the graveyard who they had to beat to get to this point. And that is true for both of these teams, regardless of how far they go. But EHS, bravo, hats off to you for a terrific season. But don't go anywhere, folks, because we are going to have another set coming up for you. We're going to work on transitioning you that way. But Pinky, where can we find you between now and your next appearance?
Well, you guys can find me on Twitter, BrokenPinky_, and you guys can probably find me on the mic somewhere, somehow, some way. But Sofa King, where can we find you, and who can we find you playing with, perchance?
Oh, who can you find me playing with? You already know. My name, once again, is Sofa King, captain of the Whip Rays. Can be found on Twitter at Sofa King Stream. But congrats once again. Hey, if anybody's going to Riptide, I'll see you there. Maybe Secret Elixir is. Congrats on your victory. Good luck in top 8 of Div 4. But as we were saying before, keep your butts in your chairs, folks, because we have another set on SplatoonTourney1 here for you. Another terrific playoff set. You see Depth Raiders going off against Astral in round 1 of Division 10A. You're going to be led by Fall. You're going to be led by Giraffe throughout a terrific set. So do not go anywhere. We will see you soon.
Hello, Splatoon enjoyers. We are back after the break for some more Ludi tonight. We have got a wonderful Div 10 match for you. It is Depth Raiders versus Astral. I believe that's how you pronounce that. And I'm here with Fall. Fall, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, yes, it's me, Fallhold, the one and only. And I think you're right. I think it is saying astral. So, don't gotta worry, It's nothing. Don't have to worry about mistaking pronunciations of teams. So you're good.
Yep, absolutely. I'm very excited to see this set. I have commentated for Depth Raiders before,
All right.
and I am doing it again. So, yeah, I'm confident that we're gonna have some unique comps. I mean, it's Div 10, so you always get some rogue weapon picks that you wouldn't otherwise see at higher levels, and that's always a giant plus for me. So.
Right, like you say, the low divs you love to see, just them just picking out the weapons that they truly love to, play. It's it's quite, lovely to see, the more honesty, in low divs rather than just, yeah, bland Zuka, bland pencil, bland gal from just high divs. So, like you said, great. Great to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the first game here is going to be on Manta Maria, and we are playing Tower Control. Fall, you have any thoughts on this map mode? I mean, I'll say it's not my favorite map, but I mean, there's a lot of quirks to Manta Maria. So,
Listen, all I have to say, I'm a big fan of, maps and modes that people aren't very fond of. So, TC Manta, I love it. I love TC. So, that kind of compensates for the fact it's, on a not so great map like Manta. So, that's my honest opinion. But, like you said, you commented on Death Raiders before. Like, what can we expect from, Death Raiders? I haven't seen it before.
oh boy, I seem to remember that there is a stringer player on Depth Raiders, so that might be interesting to look out for, because stringer is obviously, not something you see every day, but there are a lot of stringer players out there, definitely, and, it can be kind of a strong weapon, a difficult weapon to deal with if it's in the right hands, and I think we may be able to see some good stringer content. We might be able to see that on Tower Control, perhaps. But because Stringer's a good weapon on tower control, but we don't see it here. Instead, we
No.
have an E-leader coming out on one side, as well as the range blaster, and even more notable, the Dabble Dualies, which you definitely don't see those every day.
Right, I was able to commentate on that, blue dapple right here. I love to see, as a dually mains, I love to see it, but I mean, I main B dualies, but still though, any type of dualies, I love to see in a comp set like here. But one does go down from each side of the team, but two go down from the side of Death Raiders right here, so this could be a good start for the side of Astral to put in, as they unfortunately pop out the bubble at the wrong place, popping it under the mass and just having a tiny bubble. Quite unfortunate for the side of Astral, but, funny to see when you're spectating.
Oh my god, every time I'm playing with a bubble with a junior or whatever, I see that in open, oh my god, I always laugh. Like, just the tiny bubbles are just like, they're just the best. I mean, the tiny, it's still a bubble, I mean, it'll still have the same amount of HP, but it's a tiny boy, alright?
Yeah,
So,
it's a little
we don't
bubble.
we don't discriminate against cutesy wootsy bubbles here on Looting Tonight, as we see two go down on the side of Depth Raiders. Now three go down as those dabbles that we talked about do fall, and Astral are setting up with their push, now pushing into the street of Depth Raiders. We see the Nautilus on tower. Nautilus is a pretty strong weapon to kind of sit on tower and just hold space, get picks, and apply a lot of pressure. But as we see three go down on the side of Astral, that push is put to a halt, having gotten to 51 points. They have a pretty strong lead to start the match.
Right, the only, person remaining on Astral was that Blaster. Is he still over there on the side of Death Raiders? I'm not sure, Maybe he is. I think so. Oh, no, I think he still is behind there. No, oh my goodness! Already, I was just being distracted of that, whereabouts of that blaster. As Astral does, get a wipeout. Great work from them as they're getting back into the street of Death Raiders, closing in on that second checkpoint. Great work from Astral.
Yeah, I think that blaster was definitely behind them, cooking up a mess and definitely taking out a lot of the members of Depth Raiders as we see more players go down on both sides. Strikes coming out on the tower. Definitely Astral just, saying we're not done with this push. We're still here. We're going to take your street. And it is just scrappy in the streets as we see the shot player taking the bunker back for Depth Raiders. That bunker is going to be a very key position on this map. Basically, for any mode that you're playing on Manta Maria, it's going to be very, very important to hold that mode. To hold that part of the map as the Zuka gets a trade, and we see a bit of an inkjet whiff, but it's okay. He figured it out. He got there. He's letting it rip, and definitely we're hoping that Depth Raiders can get a push here to try and contest for the lead.
Hey, listen, it was a whip from the jet line with a little bit of inkjet, but it works at the end of the day. But strikes coming in from the side of Death Raiders, But looks like Astral with the popping cracker here, not being able to get the dapples though immediately off the bat, but they're chasing him immediately. Can they get this pick right here? Unfortunately not though, as Death Raiders does go down. I was thinking Death Raiders had the map control right there and getting on tower, but looks like Astral are getting the map control right here, getting these picks off. Great to see. Love the offense and picking out, and they're back on the tower yet again, approaching on the street of Depth Raiders, and hopefully decreasing more points for them.
Yeah, one thing I do want to mention is we are seeing the Junior come out from the side of Astral as the Junior just goes down, but either way, the Junior is there, and the Junior does have the bubble special, which it can be very, very strong on the mode of tower control. However, Depth Raiders are running a strikes weapon, and if you didn't know, strikes are not very kind to bubbles, so that there is a little bit of that dynamic here where the bubble will want to be set up on tower, but any ink strikes that get thrown at it will absolutely shred it, and that might be what Depth Raiders are playing for here to try and keep some of these lockout pushes from really, being effective, because that bubble can really do great things for you, but clearly not so much in this matchup as two go down on the side of Depth Raiders.
Right, and with 10 seconds underway, pressure's just very high for Depth Raiders. They need to get back on tower and just be 100% offense right here. But unfortunately, the dapples go away. Two go down from the side of Depth Raiders, and it looks like they're not be able to. Oh, they do get on the tower just in time, but Astral getting the immediately picked and immediately getting back on tower. Great work from Astral.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of a bit of a messy end to the game there, but Astral were able to get it under control. It's always a bit scary defending against an overtime tower control push, especially, on tower control with how much special advantage the pushing team is going to get. But Astral took care of it, and they will be taking the first game. So a pretty strong start to their set. They didn't really seem to falter that much on defense. They didn't really let Depth Raiders get too far with their pushes, so a pretty dominant start from Astral, but it's still anyone's game 100% after only one game. I'm not sure which map mode we're on next, but quite a game. What are your thoughts, Paul?
Yeah, quite a game indeed, Astral not letting Depth Raiders even go to the first checkpoint, mind you. So like you said, the Astral's defense was just spot on, top notch. Great work from Astral. If they continue with like that, they could possibly, might get a sweep from the set. And as we see here, the second match is going to be Clan Blitz on Museum del Alfonso. So let's see if Astral can pop up again on this map mode and just get that swift win, or Depth Raiders can pull it off and get a win from the set.
Yeah, this map mode, I don't know. One thing I'll say is that it can be a bit hard to push. It can be, a bit of just like, it's really easy to hold your plat, what I'm trying to say, on this map. If you are defending, you have a lot of high ground, and the games can become a little bit back and forth, a little bit stally. You really have to find, some pretty big hole in the opponent's defense to push all the way up to the basket and start scoring. However, there is a little bit of a sneaky block jump that you can do on the left-hand side if you really are feeling a bit brave, but that won't always be, a solid, consistent option for these teams. But it will be interesting to see how these teams are going to choose their approach option for, like, how are they planning to, poke a hole in the enemy's defenses and really get through onto the plat of their opponents.
Listen, I'm hoping to see someone take that sneaky left block. I'm quite the flanker when it comes when it comes to this game. So, whenever I'm playing a map and I see, if that map has a flank route, there's that little tiny space in my brain that's just saying, hey, take that route. It might not work, but go ahead. Take it. It might be worth it. It's literally gambling. It's 50-50.
I feel like every Splatoon player just has that like glint in their eyes when they see like a flank route and a quick rush to the basket to put a power clam in. Like, it's always that rush. You just gotta get to the basket, put the power clam in. But definitely, some interesting comps that you might see. I mean, this map is very open in the mid. It's pretty flat, and I think, it'll favor a lot of like backlines or long range weapons, as there isn't a lot of cover in mid. You have that spinner, and that's about it. But I should mention that there are some very skirmishy weapons that can succeed on this map if they take that right hand side flank that will basically drop you off all the way, right into your opponent's base, so you can cause some mayhem. But Fall, any weapons that you're wanting to see on this map mode?
Any weapons? Well, I might be a little biased here. I'm hoping to see some dualies. So maybe keep that blue dapples. I mean, this being Clan Blitz, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a brush or, any kind of like fast pacing weapon like, brush or sploosh. As we're kicking off the match here already, let's see here if any comp changes have happened. Ooh, a decaf right there, and a Dowsers from the side of who is that? Orange? Who's the orange? I'm sorry. Come on, I can't see it. Come on, let me see. Astral. There we go. I was hoping to see that. All right. Like I said, I'm happy to see dualies on this match.
Yeah, I do love Dowsers, and Decavitator is also a very interesting pick. You definitely won't see Decavitators in comp that often, but here they are. And I will say Decavitator, has that really giant direct hitbox. Might be used, as we see here already on the plat of Depth Raiders, with the Decavitator getting some picks with that inkjet and with the main weapon, just able to take up so much space with those giant hitboxes on the plat. Unfortunately, going down to the Stamper of Depth Raiders, and I think definitely an interesting weapon pick, and I will want to see how that Decavitator is going to try and force its way up the ramp of Depth Raiders. And yeah, I mean, Dowsers. What are your thoughts on Dowsers, Paul? Because those are dualies, but they're not your traditional dualies.
No, not the traditional dualies, but like I said, any dualies work for me. So are they using the right? Are they using the new? No, they're using the regular Dowsers. I don't know. That's quite a risky move to pop off. You think you use the other dualies, Dowser dualies, Burst Bomb and Strikes, which a really great, really great set right there. But they're popping off already. Astros right here just picking off people one by one. Great work from them. Like like you said, they get the power climb already, but can they get the throw in there? Oh, but they're just short off. Oh, you hate to see that. It's quite the heartbreak to see as two go down from the Astral, but they managed to get the power climb inside the basket. Great start from Astral, but it's not going to be enough though, as it's only one power climb and it only takes away 20 points. So it's very easy for Depth Raiders to come back from this and put more points for them.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a very cheeky power clam throw in. Not much else to follow up there. like no other clams, so they're stuck at 80, but it is the lead for now as we see the Stamper trying to skirmish in mid. He gets 2 picks, excellent picks, now 3 down on the side of Astral. Definitely Death Raiders looking to create a counter push here as the Stamper is going to be going down to the other Splatana. Splatana versus Splatana. We see the Decapitator coming out victorious as now more members of Death Raiders are trying to attack this left side ramp as the Decapitator gets more picks, really showing, like, you know, why you'd pick that weapon. It can be really strong if you know what you're doing, if you know how to use that giant hitbox, that very long dash slash. I mean, everything about that weapon can be pretty threatening, but you have to know how to use it correctly, as you do with many of the Splatanas in this game.
And that player definitely knows how to play that weapon, you know. You know, taking advantage of that, you know, big hitbox, you know, great work. And, you know, they're just being an absolute menace, just juking around and just breaking the ankles of Death Raiders, you know. And as we see here, Astral getting the map control in mid, as one does go down from the side of Death Raiders right here, as Whale does get popped off. 2 go down from the side of Death Raiders. This could be the chance of Astral to get back and open the basket. And they do successfully get it as a Kraken is popped off again from the side of Astral. And the Clams keep popping in as Astral is just keeping on increasing their gap, lead gap right here, as 64 does go in and more clams are being put in from the side of Astros right here. Great work from them as they do go down, unfortunately. And Rasha again with the decaf right here, just being an absolute menace, just staggering, stalling, and just giving Astral more opportunities to throw a few more clams in there as the points now decrease from 80 to 55 right there. Great offense.
Yeah, like I said, you know, Splatoon players will go for those cheeky clams in. We saw Aztree on the Dowsers going for those with that giant dodge roll, and then, like you said, Rasha on that decav, just able to hold space and, you know, get picks as we only have 45 seconds left in this game. So far, no points for the side of Death Raiders, still looking for their very first push, but they've got a ball in the hands of their stringer player. We see the shot on the left side of the map, just trying to, like, fight for control in mid. They've got the Zook out. They're gonna be looking for picks. They find one. Can they find another? They're shooting. They don't find any other picks, but that one might be enough. The bubble is come up in a kind of a weird spot for Astro, trying to just, you know, I don't know, make some Hail Mary play there. But here we see Death Raiders, they really have to find something. They've got plenty of clams to their name to try and make something happen, but the Inkjet coming out through 2 go down, 3 go down on the side of Death Raiders, and it's a complete wipe, and I believe that is definitely it for Death Raiders. Nothing else to see here as the clam gets missed, and that's probably game, as overtime is not yet done. We see
wait, this
clam going in.
Oh,
he's going for it. Oh,
oh my goodness! That was heartbreaking. I didn't think they had enough time. That's just quite unfortunate from the side of Death Raiders. They just had it right there. They were so close, but no, the overtime, you know, timer was just already decreasing that point. So great work from Astral, just, you know, stalling and just, you know, making that, you know, time just decrease more. But, you know, as you can see in the replay, it's just Astral was just doing tremendous work, amazing work on their second punch right there, just being an absolute menace, just being nuisances, just getting picks right there and just throwing more clams in and just, you know, making their lead even more greater. You love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, oh my god, I really thought the game was over, and I mean, it was pretty much over, but, you know, like we just talked about before the game about that left block that you can take, and I saw the shot, you know, booking it. I mean, he was going, and that would have been so cool, but unfortunately the time ended, and the game went to Astral, who are now 2-0 up after that clams game, and we move on to Rainmaker on Hagglefish Market. Oh boy, Rainmaker, bit of a divisive mode, but we are here on Hagglefish Market, which can be a little bit of a how do you say it? It's like a steamroll kind of map. Like, if you get onto that plat, it can go south very quickly for the defending team. Fall, what are your thoughts?
You know, like you said, you know, just the key to this map point is just getting that first checkpoint, obviously, and after you get that checkpoint, you just gotta go for that leap of faith and hopefully get on your get on the enemy's plat and just watch all those points decrease from what's the point? Well, I think it's around like 20 points remaining, so something like that.
For
not
the
sure.
checkpoint?
Yeah, no, after you jump, once you
Oh,
get the
yes,
checkpoint
yes.
and jump
Yeah,
into
if
the
you
enemy's plat.
Yeah, if you jump, it goes all the way down to like 30 something, and it's kind of a crazy jump. So you basically
Yeah.
skip out like almost a third of your way to the point. So that's a pretty good jump. I will say we saw the stringer come out as I had not as I predicted, but we saw the stringer come out on the game on Clan Blitz, and I mean if you're gonna run stringer again, I mean this is the mode to do it on. Rainmaker is really good for stringer. Just as it is on tower control, so I would not be surprised if we saw that again. You know, you can definitely throw a lot of toxic mist in front of the Rainmaker, throw a bunch of explosive shots in front of the Rainmaker, really stall out the pushes and whatnot. But I want to say we did also see the Stamper, I believe, come out from one of the teams, which I thought was a very interesting pick as well, because we had not seen that in game one. Stamper can also be good on Rainmaker because of, the object damage to the Rainmaker barrier and whatnot. Definitely interesting weapon picks brewing.
Oh yeah, like you said, and listen, personally for me, I'm hoping to see Dapples again. This being Rainmaker, this is the perfect opportunity to go back to Dapples. Just being, just sharking and just getting that surprise attack and to get that Rainmaker. I love doing that. That's just me. I love it.
Yeah, that is the Dooley's thing. Dodge rolling out of nowhere and just getting a bunch of picks all at once, being a sneaky boy, but.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dapples, they have that object damage, like you said. I would not be surprised if we saw that weapon pick again. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff. What are your thoughts? Any other thoughts on Rainmaker or Hagglefish Fall?
All I know is that might be a very chaotic match, or it can be a one-sided match. I don't know. Anything can happen.
Yeah, that's certainly how it is with Rainmaker, as we are just waiting for the room to come up and the game is starting. We are about to see the weapon comps. The Stamper, like I said, is coming out again, as is the Stringer, and we see the E-Leader once again with a Wiper now. I'm not sure if we saw that before, but the Wiper is here, and that, Wiper is a very skirmishy weapon. They might be wanting to take the flanks. You've got two flanks on either side of this map. That Wiper might be definitely wanting to take those flanks and get some cheeky picks, do some skirmishing, as we see one go down off the bat on the side of Death Raiders.
Yeah, that Vishan was just flanking off by themselves, but two members from Astral just noticed that and say, hey, perfect time to jump them, two of us and one of them. So great work from that Astral, just spotting off that flank here, and not much is happening. Nobody has picked up the Rainmaker. Things are just stalling up in mid. Oh, one does go down from each team, as the V-Rapid does have the strikes ready. So let's see if if they can manage to pull that off. But I think they're gonna go down from New Jeans. Is quite heartbreaking to see. But let's see. Astral does get the Rainmaker at this point. Now's their chance to get to the checkpoint right here. Are they gonna go for the checkpoint in mid, or are they going for the left? No, they're going for the mid right here, but they're quite in a pickle right here as they go, as the Rainmaker does go down right here. But Astral again getting a chance right here, and they might get the checkpoint from this. But the strikes does kind of scatter them around as they get the checkpoint right here. They do. They don't, unfortunately. Oh my goodness, great work from Anti right there, just getting that Rainmaker, stopping them from breaking that checkpoint as they pop up the Zipcaster. Can they get a pick right here? And they do get a pick from the Zipcaster. This is great work from Anti. You'll love to see it.
Oh my gosh, Astral trying so hard to get that checkpoint, but as it is sometimes for Rainmaker, it doesn't really work out, as we see Death Raiders trying to launch their push. Now 2 down on the side of Astral, and they do actually get the check. It did not take as much effort as it did for Astral, and we see, quite a bit of paint control on the side of Depth Raiders. They're definitely looking to take something back here, but they do go 2 down and 3 down as that Ultra Stamp is now rampaging through mid, took out I think 1 or 2 players for Depth Traders, and there's just that lone Zipcaster waiting to be camped at the recall. That is a bit of a sad sight, you know, as a Stamper main myself, but you know, it happens, as we see plenty of paint control here on the side of Depth Traders as they're going to try and go to extend their lead.
Right, you know, extend their lead indeed, you know, the ramp here still at mid, so Depth Raiders needs to, you know, pop off right here, you know, get some special right here, and oh, watch out for the flanks right here, as the Viper does get the Stamper right here. They might get the Rainmaker right here, and they do successfully as they have Hammer ready, and they're gonna pop one off as Depth Raiders suffer a wipeout, which gives Astral the opportunity, the space right here to get the checkpoint. Can they get the first checkpoint? Yes, they do. Oh my goodness, they do get the checkpoint right here. All they need to do for Astral is just break that Rainmaker and just move just 1 centimeter, literally 1 millimeter. But unfortunately, Depth Raiders get the pop right here as 3 go down from the side of Astral right here. Oh my goodness, this is great defense from Depth Raiders right here. As you know, the gap is just 1 point. Oh my goodness, tensions are just rising even more.
Yeah, I mean, Astral are so close to the lead right there. They couldn't get it, but I mean, I called it with the Wiper. I mean, the Wiper took the flanks just as I predicted it would. Definitely a strong choice, and they're doing it again with the Ultra Stamp, and 2 go down on the side of Depth Traders to this rampaging Wiper who finally gets stopped by the Stamper of Anti. Oh my god, the Wiper is just spamming those flanks, and I am not surprised at all. Still, the points sit at 63 and 62. 1 point lead for Depth Traders as they're just barely holding on against this Wiper. Now we see the Nautilus poking on the left flank. They're going to go back to mid and try a different angle here as we're looking at the Stamper in mid. Just, you know, Stamper can hold some paint control. I think it's a bit underrated at how it holds paint control as we see it, you know, they're trying to hold space. Now it's the Viper again with another Ultra Stamp as it does go down. As you know, we're kind of used to seeing Ultra Stamps go down like that. It's just kind of a habit at this point to, you know, just kill Ultra Stamps when they really should not be killed. But we see Astral going for the lead here, and they do get it. Like you said, they only need to move 1 millimeter forwards to get the lead, and they get it down to 37. 2 down on the side of Depth Raiders, now 3 down as Astral are trying to go for a mega push here.
Oh my goodness, and the hammer just popping off already from the side of Rocha right here. As we're under 10 seconds away, things are not looking good for Depth Raiders right now as Astral move the Rainmaker even more. As 10 points remaining, things are not looking good for Depth Raiders right here as they do get the Rainmaker right here. But their chances of coming back from this are very slim. They need to pull up a miracle of comeback right here. But the flanking of Viper comes back to haunt Depth Raiders yet again. Oh my goodness.
It is non-stop.
This is quite chaotic.
Yeah, it is flanks galore from that Viper. Man, I gotta start playing some more Splatana Viper if that's what it's doing in Div 10 here. I mean, oh my gosh. But, I mean, definitely a strong pick on this map mode with that Viper. We saw countless times pulling out the Ultra Stamp, just, you know, using its main weapon to the best of its, you know, capacity here, and getting the job done, really being a thorn in the side of Depth Raiders. As Astral take this to 3-0. So far, a pretty dominant showing in this set. They're really showing that they may be the better team out of the 2 of these, but still time for Depth Raiders to try and make a fight to come back. We've seen them be strong in the set. They had a strong start to this game, I believe, in particular. So, yeah, definitely not, you know, it's not over for Depth Raiders, but, I mean, man, that Splatana Viper just absolutely caused havoc.
Absolutely, yeah. Quite the flanker, which, you know, I'm happy to see. I'm proud to see those plays right there, and I hope I see more on the next map, which being SplatoonTourney1. You know, I mean, you could flank if, you know, Depth Raiders have the zones right there, but, you know, I mean, maybe there's a situation where they could flank. So, I mean, I'm hoping to see that, but, you know, like you say, uh, this could be, Astral's chance. The chances of them having a set sweep right here is just high now. Just 2 more wins, that's all they need. But, Death Raiders, they did pull off, great work from there. Just kind of having that 1-point lead for a while right there. So if they can manage to pull that off, then, Death Raiders could maybe get a win from this match.
Yeah, I definitely think that they're still in it. Splat Zones, Umami Ruins, it's one of those maps. It's got 2 Splat Zones on it, one on the left side, one on the right side. That always makes it very tricky to try and attack the zone and control the zone and then defend the zone. And I think that, a lot of the times you get the situations where one zone is painted and the other zone is not, and you're trying to skirmish and trying to get around to the other zone to paint it. So always good fun to watch, and most of the time it's good fun to play. But definitely a map where you can clog up a choke point. Like there is a bit of a drop on the left side if you want to drop into your court off spawn, but for the most part you're gonna want to approach from the right side, and there is a pretty big choke point there. So stuff that can, block off that choke point. Or, I mean, like, Zuka is very strong on this map because it sees everything. If you're in mid and you're holding Zuka, and Zuka's always strong, like, all the time, so it's not even that surprising. But, Fall, what are your thoughts on Splat Zones Umami?
All I gotta say is, like you said, this being like a 2 zones map, it's gonna be a merry-go-round. Just hopefully I get to see one of those moments where one side's painted, the other side's not, and so the teams are just switching places over and over again. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've definitely seen like a bit of rogue picks from both sides. We saw the Dowsers and the Decavitator from the side of I believe it was Astral, and then we've seen a Junior, we just saw the Wiper from Astral, we've seen, plenty of things. And on Splat Zones, the weapon freedom is very much there. I mean, you can play pretty much whatever you want on Splat Zones. It's definitely the kind of mode where you'll, tend towards your comfort picks, the picks that you're really comfortable with, that, you will just choose in a pinch. Because a lot of things can work on this mode. It's not, really all about holding the paint control, and, I think that might show in the comms. This is the first Splat Zones game of the set, but Death Raiders definitely have to find the click. I mean, I think they're swapping out players right now, if I am correct. They're swapping out players, so maybe that roster change. I think they've had a couple of roster changes already. I think that's why we're waiting a bit longer in between these games. But the roster change might be able to do something for Death Raiders here.
And we're just getting word here. It's taking a while because I think they're having a swapper here. A little sub swap right here. I think they're subbing out Slot right there. So might be taking a little while to get back in this game, but have a little patience, and we'll get back into this match and watch ourselves a great match.
Yeah, one thing I will say on a bit of more of a personal note for Depth Raiders, I'm pretty sure I ran into one of their players in Anarchy Open like about an hour ago when I was just like fooling around, and I saw, I think it was Solana. So like, shout out to Solana. I think we won the match. So I was like, bro, he's practicing for his Ludi set. I mean, always on that grind, I guess.
Exactly.
But so shout out to Solana for running into me in Open. But yeah, we are just waiting here for the players to be ready. Hopefully not much longer here. I will say that oh, here we go.
Yeah,
We're going into the match, about to see what comps are coming out from either side. We see the Wiper again. Tetras as well.
Yeah,
we see the
Tetras
Wiper
as well. Wiper
So the Wiper, yeah, not from the side of Astral now, from the side of Depth Raiders. It's on the other side now, as well as the Machine and the Gal coming up from the side of Astral. What are your thoughts, Paul?
Listen, all I have to say is just Tetras, I see it, it's been a while since I've seen, Tetras being used in a, comp setting, so I'm very happy to see the Tetras just being you know, hopefully they can be an absolute annoyance for the side of Astral. Just, you know, being that annoying mosquito that, you know, I like to see in, you know, my perspective. But things are not looking good for Death Raiders. Oh no, no, wait, things are looking good for Death Raiders as they do get the zones back. I was thinking Astral was going to take back the zones, but no, two go down. Oh, but unfortunately, two go down from the side of Death Raiders right here. Astral might get the zones right here. All they need to do is get the zones on the other side, and they do successfully get it on the other side. All they need to do is just hold it off right here and, you know, pull off great as two go down from the side of Death Raiders right here. Oh my goodness, a delay wipe from the side of Death Raiders right here. Great offense from Astral, just keep pushing right here and just, you know, getting picks.
Yeah, we see Rasha on the junior, which is a bit very different from the decavitator that we saw them on previously, but that junior is definitely going to be able to set up bubble, throw bombs, and just, you know, really keep a lot of control for the side of Astral as we see them already down to about 35 points remaining. They're really holding on to the zone. Bazooka comes out from the side of Death Raiders. 3 go down now on the side of Astral as Death Raiders get a wipeout. All 4 down on the side of Astral. Death Raiders are going to be able to retake here and try their hand at getting a push. We see the Wiper Deco, you know, loves to farm for their missiles. They've got missiles ready. They're going to be popping it on 3 members of Astral. Going to be causing some havoc. Hopefully some of their team members can move in with those missiles and, you know, contribute to the aggressive pressure as we see some fighting over the zone. 1 down on both sides as Death Raiders were not really able to, you know, establish themselves in mid, which might be a bit concerning for them as Astral are starting to get a bit of an advantage in mid as well.
And it looks like right here the Astral are getting the zones back already, but no, zones are still neutral here. Oh, it's a fight happening in top mid, not happening anymore as Rasha does go away, you know, greatly right here as they pop up bubble right here on the right side of the zones right here. 2 go down from the side of Death Raiders as Astral does get the zones back, but that's a huge penalty point that they need to get rid of. But, you know, things are looking good for Astral as, you know, 2 go down from the side of Death Raiders right here. And, you know, Astral's just, you know, doing a good job right now, just keeping Death Raiders, you know, inside of their base and not letting them have a chance to push.
Yeah, absolutely. Astral are definitely, you know, holding on tight to this game and this set. To be fair, as the machine goes down on the side of Astral, Bazooka looking to take out the E-Leader and succeeds. But, you know, the Tetra's coming down from the side of Death Raiders. People, you know, falling on both sides. We see the Wiper, you know, again, you know, running around, getting picks, painting up, has the missiles, it pops the missiles, lots of mid-fight on this map and mode as you would expect, but so far, mostly going the way of Astral as we see Death Raiders trying to desperately paint zone and just establish a lockout, get that lockout started so that they can really score some hefty points. We see the Gal going down on the side of Astral as Death Raiders are going to try and take control. Another pick from the Tetras. Now, you know, you love those Tetras. There you go. They got that pick, you know, with their dodge rolls and all that firepower that they contribute to the battles. You know, pretty exciting stuff here from Death Raiders as they're going to try and, you know, battle for the lead.
And, you know, Death Raiders taking away their penalty points as the regular points does go down. You know, great work from them as it goes under 30 of a point, but the zones does go neutralized, but, you know, 2 go down from the side of Astral right here as the machine does go down, and, you know, the lead gap right here is just decreasing bit by bit by bit. Ooh, under 9 points away. Death Raiders needs to go back and paint back zones as the Gal is on the zones right here, just stalling it right here, and, you know, Death Raiders is, you know, getting back zones, but the Gal is still alive. My goodness, how is that possible? But Death Raiders greatly get the comeback right here. Great work from them. All they need to do is just, you need to get back on zones to decrease even more points. Can they get the KO on this and hold zones right here? No, but the zones are back to neutralize. And they get back the zones back right here. And the Booyah Bomb, just missing out on the zones right here. Everything is just happening at once right here. Astro get the zones back right again with giving Death Raiders a big penalty points right here. And it's back to overtime. 2 go down from Death Raiders. Oh my goodness. Death Raiders getting the win right here. Great work from here. Everything just went chaotic in overtime, especially in the last few seconds. But Death Raiders can breathe in and breathe out peacefully as they get a win from this.
Yeah, Depth Traders definitely they put their foot down. They said, we're gonna take this win, we're gonna bring this push all the, have it go the distance. And I mean, definitely a lot of chaotic stuff happening with the zones flipping back and forth as you're seeing on the replay here, going back and forth. And I definitely, back to what I had talked about or what we had mentioned before about how if you, just get some paint on one of the two zones, it will stop the entire push. That definitely contributes to some of the chaos that we saw on this match and in this map mode in general. But Death Raiders, they stuck it out. They finally got their win in the set. It is now 3-1. Could this be it? Could we be making our way to, Game 7, Game 8, Game 9? I sure hope so. But we go on now to Tower Control, Undertow, Spillway. Bit of an interesting map mode pick, Fall. What are your thoughts?
Oh my goodness. Hold up, you're breaking up on my side. Hold up. I think my internet's spitting a little beepity boopity at the moment. Oh no, I think I can hear you now. What can I expect on this map? Well, TC Undertow. Ooh, well, I mean, I don't have anything directly in my mind, but I mean, I can say, Undertow Spillway with the rework, having that amazing tunnel, under the snipes of each side. So, hopefully it's a good game. It's pretty chaotic, just like the last one from Splat Zone. So I'm hoping to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. They added those tunnels in that map rework that I'm a pretty big fan of those tunnels that they added. But I will say Undertow Spillway and just tower control in general again is a very snowball heavy mode, and on this map, I mean it can be very very bad. Especially because the tower will move like partially away from your spawn when you're defending, which is always a bit of a death sentence, for the defenders to try and stop that tower if it's like moving away and then moving back towards you. But I mean, I will say it's also very easy for the attackers to get up onto your plat and just cause mayhem, and really lock you out like that. But I mean, this map mode could still go, very stally, very back and forth. And I'm interested to see what weapon comps that we see from both sides as the teams are loading in. Right here we see the Rapid Blaster once again from the side of Depth Raiders and the S-Blast
S-Blast, yeah.
91. Oh my god, we haven't not seen that so far. That is going to be a strong pick on tower control.
And the match is kicking off already as the V-Rapid from the side of Death Raiders does go down right here. This could be a great start from Astral as they, do get on tower right here and get on the first checkpoint immediately. They could get the, break at the first checkpoint immediately as they do right here, and they're, pulling up a great start already, being pushed off already, especially Rasha with that S-Blast just popping up a Booyah Bomb already and getting near the second checkpoint for the side of Ash right here, and that E-Leader, oh my goodness, just being absolute, just creepy guy, just, being an E-Leader, just, scaring away people and popping out Kraken and possibly unlocking the second checkpoint as they do, as two go down from the side of Death Raiders as the V-Shot does go down as well. And Astro getting on the final checkpoint. But Anti right there with the Stamper right there, just stopping them from pushing aside even further. As Astral are back on tower again, getting on that final checkpoint. With the Ink Strikes again, my goodness, the offense right here is just chaotic. Great work from Astral right here, just being absolute menaces right here. Just being on the base of Death Raiders right here, getting that final checkpoint. Could they get the KO from here? They might get the checkpoint. My goodness, what a speed run from Astral. My word. Not even, oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Giraffe. I didn't give you a chance to commentate even more about this match. It's just that Astral is just being so quick.
Oh my gosh, take a breath, ladies and gentlemen. That was a speedrun, in fact, from the side of Astral. I mean, like I said, snowball map, snowball mode. Not much else to say about that one, as the tower just will barrel into your spawn. And definitely we did see a little bit of the, on your plat shenanigans from Astral. They got up there, as we see on the replay, 2 members jumping up there, doing their stuff. They've got that tower jump that they did in fact use. How could you not? Yeah, a speedrun. A speedrun is the only way to really describe that. They just fully sent it, and they've taken this to 4-1. They are now at set point. They're at set point here. In this set with Clams Barnacle coming up next after that absolute whirlwind of a game.
Right, quite the game mode indeed, as we proceed on to the match point, being Clamblitz, Barnacle, and Dime. My goodness, this is gonna be, another reworked map. So, what can you expect, Giraffe?
Oh boy, Clamblitz, Barnacle, and Dime. I like this map quite a bit, and I'm a pretty big Clamblitz fan. I like the mode a decent bit. Now this map mode, it's a pretty small map, and your objective is simple, right? Clamblitz is not a simple objective, but on the map your objective is simple, and that is to just take the enemy plat. If you can storm across mid from your plat to their plat and just take control, you will be good to go for a push because you have all that high ground. And if you've ever defended on this map, you will know how difficult it is to get people off of your plat when they're just in your court and they're storming in and they're throwing clams in, and it is quite difficult to deal with a push like that. So definitely, that's something to watch out for as the teams are going to be battling for space. But again, Clamblitz, you can pick a lot of things on Clamblitz. Clamblitz will tend to favor the faster paced weapons and faster paced comps, as if you can get some breakaways and some cheeky basket opening, that will always help you out. I'm trying to remember what we saw. We saw Museum was the last Clamblitz game that we had going on here, and there was definitely some cheeky breakaways, as we're about to see what comps the teams are about to pull out.
Can't wait to see right here. ZRB Wellstring. I was expecting to get a Wellstring from that Rainmaker match, but if they decide Wellstring's the good opportunity to play off in this map mode, then pop up ahead. Oh, and I see a Squelchers on the side of Asher right there. Astri right there with the vanilla dual Squelchers right there. And and it's back again. Astral having that decaf right again. So can't wait to see more great moments.
Yeah, plenty of off-meta picks. I think we should also mention that the Stamper player Anti has switched to the other Stamper kit that does have Toxic Mist and Crab Tank. Crab Tank will be incredibly important on this map. If you can set it up in a good position, it can see absolutely everything and just dominate this map. As we see one go down on the side of Astral, it'll be their junior player. As we see the CRB kind of wreaking havoc, but it does go down to the flanking Decapitator, kind of reminiscent of that Wiper from a couple matches ago, but the Decapitator does go down, but it does get a pick to go along with it, as we see the Depth Raiders have a pretty strong start to the match, as they're holding a bunch of mid control. Lots of orange paint everywhere. The Crab comes out, like I said, it's going to be applying a lot of pressure. Gets the pick on the Dually Squelchers. What else can come of this push? We'll have to see. The Depth Raiders.
We see a bubble right there being popped off from Astral right there, stopping Depth Raiders from popping off from the plant. As 3 go down from the side of Depth Raiders, which gives Astral the space and opportunity they need to get back and, have the starter push right here, as Astral does get the power climb inside the basket, but getting only 1 power climb in, unfortunately. Yet again, I feel like this is like a rerun of the Clamblitz match already from Museum, just 1 power climb in and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. That is how the other match started, as we see Depth Raiders take a pretty swift retake on here, as the E-Leader gets a crucial pick across the map, snipe on the CRB that was just sitting on their plat, going for another one. It's gonna miss. The Inkjet coming out from the Decapitator on the side of Astral. They're going to be trying to look for a follow-up push to their first push as Depth Raiders are now go 3 down. They've lost a ton of space. The clams are coming in for Astral. The basket will be open any second now. There it is. Another power clam going in to score 20 points for Astral. Already down to 50. A very strong start. Remember, if Astral win this game, they do in fact take the entire set, but there's still 2.5 minutes to go as Depth Raiders once again take a pretty swift retake of their core and of their plat to get back into mid and start fighting again.
Yeah, great work for Astral. Just keep pushing on and just throwing more power globes in to, increase their, point gap right there. 50 points remaining. Very great start. Oh my goodness, with the Kraken being able to push one of Astral's members off the map and letting them drown. Oh my goodness, that was quite a painful moment to see. But Astral suffer a wipeout, giving Depth Raiders more of a chance to get back in. Unfortunately, though, they do not have enough clams as Astral does respawn and get back their little snipe area, plant area right there. But, with the hammer now being popped off again, Russia right there just being by themselves in the trench right there, getting a, I thought they were able to get a pop right there, but unfortunately not. They didn't get any picks right there, unfortunately suffering as 2 go down from the side of Astral, which gives Depth Raiders even more of a chance to, come back from this, as they do have a lot of clams right here, having a power clam and that V-shot just having, 7 clams already, and the bubble being popped off already, and NT popping off, getting that junior pick already and destroying that bubble immediately as soon as they can, as 2 go down from 2 go down from the side of Depth Raiders. 3 now already. Astral, oh my goodness, with the complete 180, just now being on the side of Depth Raiders space right here, as the decap does go down right here. Everything's just chaotic, everything is once another person goes down from the side of Depth Raiders. Oh my goodness, this is the delay wipe right here. Great defense right here from Astral, just stopping. Oh my goodness, I know they're still in the base right here. Everything's just happening at once. Astral right here with the power clip being thrown in. Can Astral get more clams inside the basket? Maybe not. Yes, they do. They're putting more clams in. Everything's just chaotic at once. Astral just being great offensively, just putting in more clams. One more clam in. I don't think they're going to put any more clams in, unfortunately, but what a great start from me. And I need a breather as we're under 30 seconds away. Things are not looking good for Depth Raiders at this moment.
Just when you thought that Depth Raiders had that push, that very first push, in the bag, they all went down
they do it again.
To Astral, and they get another clam in. Astral have done it again. Now down to 29 remaining. 3 down on the side of Depth Raiders as Astral are absolutely dominant in this game. 20 points remaining. 8 seconds. We're about to go to the end of the game, but will there be enough time for Depth Raiders to try and get an overtime? No, I don't think there will be. 5 points remaining now.
No, they need one more clam in.
From winning the set, and there's no overtime. They have no clams.
Got it.
That is the end of the match, and Astral take the set 5-1 with an exhilarating double push right at the end of Barnacle Clams there. That was something. I mean, oh my god. I mean, a pretty dominant showing from Astral, but like kind of back and forth there, and I did not think it would be that explosive of a push from Astral, as they do take the set to proceed on to top 8 in their Div 10 Ludi bracket.
Yes, tremendous play from Astral, just finally being able to get that push that they needed, and especially at the end of the match, where, Depth Raiders had absolutely no chance of coming back from that, it's quite unfortunate to see Depth, Raiders, go out like that, but hey, they shouldn't be ashamed of themselves, they should be glad that they were able to, proceed off and, being able to, proceed and to the top 16, that's something they should, be proud about. They worked until the end. They fought off, and they got a set off from this. They got to win off this set. So keep your heads up, Depth Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, I would be proud of myself if I was on Depth Raiders for making it this far. But definitely, I'm excited for Astral to be in the top 8. I'll definitely be watching to see how they end up doing there, as they showed, pretty dominantly that they are a force to be reckoned with in this match. But that will be it for now, for Ludi tonight, at least. Fall, you have any final words?
Well, only gotta say, Astral, I hope, best of luck to you. You popped off really great, and have fun in top 8, and hopefully y'all can make it to the semis.
Absolutely. While you're at that, Fall, would you like to tell the people where they can find you on any platforms?
Yes, the people can find me on my Twitter at BudoFall. You can see it right there in the stream, right there. It can pop off maybe in a little bit right there. And maybe a little side note here, but I am a free agent, as unfortunately my team Squid Sushi did disband.
Oh,
It's quite heartbreaking to see, but we're still friends at the end of the day, and gotta move on in comp wise. If anybody has a team or something, chance. How about you, Giraffe?
Absolutely. I've been there with disbanding teams, but I don't have a Twitter where you can find me at. But for any reason, if you want to, I don't know, DM me on Discord, you can find me at giraffe05. I will say, I'm not a free agent currently. If we're plugging teams, then I'll say I am currently playing for the team Overdrive. We
Woo!
are Div 9. Woo woo, yeah, go
Yeah.
Overdrive. Woo.
Wait, I got to say, I'm yeah, Div 7, okay? Div 7,
Yeah,
so,
woo! Go Fall, yeah.
or maybe 6,
Yeah. That will be it for the Ludi Tonight coverage, at least on this channel. We will now, in fact, be sending you to the main Splatoon Tourney channel to watch Sunset Surge, I believe. Yeah, Sunset Surge,
Ooh.
which is a Splatoon LAN in Arizona.
Arizona,
and it is
yes.
currently, I watched the stream before. It seems to be kind of popping over there. So,
Oh, yeah, it is.
definitely stick around for that raid. Go have fun watching the LAN, and I'll have to say thank you for having me, and thank you for watching Ludi Tonight.
Take care, y'all.
See you.